Right, this is like an epilogue after the stories that we've done, because the more we go into the stories of the Eddie and Jean tour, the more it comes out. Now, every time we went Boy Meets Girl and the Hippodrome tour, a name kept popping up to us, Pete Wynne. So we got him, and we've got him on the phone now. So maybe, and hopefully, he'll tell us a little bit more on a few stories I've not mentioned yet.
Yes, on the line now I have Peter Wynne. Good afternoon, Peter. Can you hear me okay? Hello, my darling. How are you?
I can.
Yeah, you can hear me okay? Right, what I wanted to ask you I find quite interesting is the work of Larry Parnes. You know, like he gave his artists like Marty Wilde, Dickie Pride. Your name came up as Wynne Williams. Now, was that given to you by Larry Parnes, or was it something to do with your grandfather?
No, well, you really got it right. It was to do with my uncle. Who was
Right.
an opera singer. He sang in the same era as the great Caruso. And he did the opera, Captain Guard, things like that. So his name was well, his real name was Furnace Wynne Williams.
Right.
Or John Furnace Wynne. Well, Furnace was what I call him now, technically name he was given because he worked in the furnaces
Yeah.
up in not North Wales, in Liverpool. Anyway, he was an opera singer, and his Wynne was taken really from him. And my grandfather was Wynne, so the name was, who else part was Wynne, so I took it from there, so it was nothing to do with Larry Parnes.
Right, so that will go with your tenor voice as well. Is it tenor, your voice?
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yes, it is, yeah. I did, actually, when I was with Parnes, so I just jumped to that, shall I?
Yeah, can do, yeah.
Actually, when I was with Larry Parnes, he was going to send me to Italy to have my voice trained as a operatic tenor.
Wow.
But unfortunately, as you know, Larry he liked young men.
Yeah, he wasn't attracted to the opposite sex at all.
No. So he wanted to come with me and stay where I was. And I thought, oh, no. I don't want the problem.
No.
I wasn't that way inclined, so I refused. And he never sent me to Italy.
Yeah,
So I missed that opportunity, but there you go.
never mind.
That's life, they say.
Yeah.
Well, earlier on in the videos that we've been doing, I mentioned that Gene Vincent, I think he got pneumonia at the Manchester Hippodrome and couldn't do one of the nights. And now I've led to believe that you filled in for Gene Vincent.
That's correct. Well, I heard about it when I was in London. And Larry Parnes said, he heard that Gene had been taken ill, so he said, quick, get the plane from Heathrow. And we all got it all ready and flew up to Manchester. I went on to Manchester, and I had a very good write-up the next day. It was in the Daily Express, I think.
Yeah, it was.
It had the golden voice of the 1960s.
Yeah.
And then there was a write-up on what I'd done to take over from Gene Vincent, so. Yeah, it was good.
It's
I took it from him, yeah.
It was a bit unusual for you to take Gene Vincent's place because obviously you're a different voice to what Gene Vincent is.
I know. I thought that. I thought they don't want me to sort of go on there and sing and do like a Gene Vincent act. But no, they didn't want that. They wanted, me to do my normal style of singing and just sort of fill in for Gene Vincent, basically.
And we did read, because there's a book about you, The Chapel of Dreams by Dave Lodge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wrote it. Yeah,
Yes.
I wrote it with David Lodge. Yeah.
Now, I did read in there that you went down a storm in Manchester and your dressing room was filled up after the show.
Yeah.
Everyone wanting to take your autograph.
I'm not saying that because I'm a bit conceited. So Yeah, it was.
So you went down really well in Manchester at the Hippodrome. Do you remember what night it was?
God, I can't remember.
Because he was there for 5 nights, and I just couldn't remember whether it was. Did you just do the 1 night or 2?
In fact, I can't remember that, but I know that after that show I was booked to do some of the nights with Eddie and Gene
Yeah.
on the tour. But I can't remember. I actually can't remember how many nights I did. I think it was just the 1, I think. I think it was the end of the tour.
Right, was it? Right.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because you actually were on the last leg with Gene and Eddie at Bristol.
Yeah.
Can you remember anything about that night?
I certainly can.
Oh, look.
Everyone was getting ready. We'd go, and all the acts were going to Eddie's dressing room, and Gene dressed in, sort of saying bye. And Eddie said, "What do you want from the States, Peter?" and whatever. And I said, "Well, nothing. Whatever's American." So he said, "Well, I'll bring something back." So that was that. And then Gene, I don't know if it was Gene or Eddie, Sharon Shelley was there that night because they were going back to America.
Yeah.
And they asked, there was a guy called Johnny Gentle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've heard about this.
Yeah, he took over from Dean Webb,
Yeah.
who was supposed to be on the bill, but he wasn't. I don't know why. But anyway, Johnny, and I was going back to London with Johnny, because he was a mate of mine, and Eddie or Gene, I don't know who it was, asked if he would give them a lift.
Yeah.
And Johnny said, "No, I've got no room." I'm going back with Peter Wynn, and there was Sharon and Gene and Eddie, and I think somebody else was.
I think it was the road manager.
Didn't have enough room in the car, so I remember that. Oh, funny enough, not funny. Strangely enough, we had to stop a police car on the way back from Bristol. I think it was somewhere in where the accident
Chippenham.
happened. Chippenham.
Yeah.
And we asked this policeman where the station was up, and he said, there's been an accident just down the road. He said, they're drawing off the petrol. And the police, if you go down there, they might give you a can.
Yeah.
So we drove to that spot, and they just gone. They just taken the car away and everything, and they just cleared up. So we didn't get any petrol. But that was the actual spot where
Right.
the thing had happened, which was so.
Oh,
That's quite bizarre, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because when I got back to London, and I heard on the news, I thought, my God. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that was going to be our next question. When
Yeah.
did you actually hear the news that Eddie had?
The next day, I didn't hear it before. I didn't know of it actually on that night. It was the next morning when I had the news I had on the
Yeah.
radio.
because
And it said,
we actually heard that Johnny Gentle managed to siphon some petrol off. So he didn't.
no,
Right.
that was I know I've read that as well.
Yeah.
We didn't manage to siphon any petrol off because all the things had been cleared up. There was
Right.
still people walking about and this and that, and
Yeah.
1 or 2 policemen there. But then it was all gone. I think he's forgotten that, Johnny. He said we managed to get some petrol. We did get petrol, but on that actual police petrol station.
Yeah. Well, do you know what, Pete? That is absolutely fascinating because we love to put the stories straight. And I've heard that story for a long time that you did siphon the petrol off, but now you put the stories straight. A lot of people would be happy about that. Really would.
No. What else was I going to say?
Well,
Johnny?
there was a story that you were saying about a picture that Eddie kept showing you.
Oh, yeah. When I first met Eddie, I think it was during the tour, or the tour, I should say.
Yeah.
He was showing some photographs that were sort of ordinary snapshots, sort of him, which he'd had taken, just portraits. And he was pointing out, he said, look, and I looked in the corner of the photograph, and there was a little sort of shiny light, like a cross, right in the corner of the picture, and he pointed it out. He didn't mention anything about death or anything, but he just said, that's strange. He went, God, yeah, it is. So that was strange.
And he did he take that as like some sort of omen, or?
Well, he didn't sort of go deeply into it.
Yeah.
But because obviously he didn't know about the incident that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But he pointed it out as though he was trying to say something, but he didn't really say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you understand what I mean, Dave.
Right, and then the other question was, we have spoke, you don't really remember doing the Boy Meets Girl show up in Didsbury, which we're doing the ABC Studio documentary on it. But you was on there, what, 3, 4, maybe 5 times?
Yeah, I did, but I was doing mainly Paul Anka songs, actually, strange enough.
Yeah.
Put Your Head on My Shoulder, that one, and then
Yeah.
Time to Cry, and then I did a one called Make Believe, which was a Conway Twitty number,
Oh yeah.
and it went down really good in the audience. They put the cameras around and pointed at certain things in the audience. There was a girl crying her eyes out with a handkerchief over her face when I was singing. So, it went down well.
Right.
That was, but I went to Birmingham. I was in Birmingham the next day, and I went to a store because I had a record out called, I think it was Chapel of Dreams, I think it probably was. And I asked them whether they got that installed. He went, no. He said, but I wish we had Peter Wynn singing Make Believe. He said, there's been loads and loads of people coming in asking, have you got a song called Make Believe by Peter Wynn?
Yeah.
And obviously I hadn't recorded it. It was just done on TV.
Right.
So my recording manager, Norman, you missed out there.
Right, oh, right. Right,
We hadn't done it, but there you go.
Right, we'll stay on the phone, Pete, because we'll have a word about getting on the radio show that we're doing. And
Did you want me to mention anything about the incident with Gene Vincent on the tour?
yes, if you could, it was on the tour. Now you just reminded me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, right. I was on the tour in the bus. We just finished a one-nighter, and we were coming back on the coach, and behind me was Gene Vincent with another guy, I can't remember who, and I was in the front of them, lying on the seat, trying to go to sleep. And as I was trying to sleep, there was this banging on the back of the seat, like a bang with a hand, a slap, bang, bang. And I can't. So I just sort of sat up and I turned around to Gene Vincent. I said, oh, Gene, do me a favour, could you stop banging on the back of the seat? I'm so tired. He said, you talking to me? I said, yeah. He said, get me Henry. I'll talk. And that was the name of the implement that he used to go around with.
Yeah.
Henry. He called it Henry.
Henry, yeah.
It was a long dagger. It was a knife.
Yeah.
And he said, if you want to talk to me, you talk to Henry. And he beat this knife on the back of the seat by my face, said, hanging it like, now you talk to Henry. And I just turned around.
Yeah. Well.
And then he ran up the coach, and I think he slashed a guy called Al something, one of the roadmen.
Yeah.
He slashed his pockets on his blazer.
Right.
With a knife.
Henry. Yeah.
And Davy Jones.
Yeah.
The coloured guy.
The American singer.
Yeah. He said, come on, Gene, calm it, man, calm it down. You've had too much to drink, man. What the hell they do. And he calmed down, and that was the end of that incident.
Right.
The next day, on the next show, he asked me to his dressing room.
Yeah.
And he said, sorry about last night, Peter, in his school. I have a drink on me with me, and So he sort of apologised
Right.
the next day.
Well, we've heard a few stories about Gene Vincent and Henry, so
Oh, you've heard about Henry?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a great story. I've not heard that one. All right. So, like I say, stay where you are, Pete. Debbie will have a word with you now. Okay.
Okay.
Right, Peter.
Right. Well, there you go. That's Pete Wynn, where we've just been talking to, and we're going to get him on our Rock and Roll Diner, Deb's Rock and Roll Diner radio show on a Tuesday night. So if we do get any more stories from him, then I'll add them onto here. Peter Wynn. Well, that was some phone call, wasn't it?
Wasn't it just? What an amazing guy. That was amazing voice, absolutely amazing. But we started talking about stories and he put us right on a few pointers. And I got goosebumps when I found the truth. Amazing. For what you hear, and then you get the truth. And this is the guy that's bought the t-shirt as well.
And
You know,
he wears it. He wears it because he was there. And even after the Eddie Cochran Gene Vincent tour, Gene Vincent came back to England and went on a tour, and Peter Wynn was on that tour as well. Now, I heard the story, I don't know if it's true, you may correct me, but Gene Vincent didn't want to come back and do that tour, so he had to make a story up, Gene Vincent, that he had somebody phone him and say someone had died in America and had to go back, and that's how he got out of that next tour when he came back. Did you know that?
Yes, I did that.
Oh, you knew that? Oh,
Yes.
right, you know everything, don't you?
Yes.
Well, do you know the story about Joe Brown at ABC Studios and Johnny Cash?
Not the full story, but I suppose you're going to tell us all about it.
Well, I won't tell you about it. Listen to Joe.
Look at the first gig I ever did, and it was Johnny Cash. And Johnny was singing his, it was a song called How High's the Water, Mama? And Luther Perkins' part was this. That's all he played all the way through. It drove him mad. Johnny sang, How high's the water, Mama? 2 foot high and rising. How high's the water, Papa? And that went on, and then it went up a tone. How high's the water, Mama? 3 foot high and rising. Right through again, and how high's the water, Mama? Up he went again, you know. I'm getting fed up with this. So we got to about 5 foot. And he goes, how high's the water, Mama? Instead of going, I went, he said, hold it, and stop the show. This is in 1959. Now, you didn't stop the show. It was impossible. I mean, they just went right the way through with these things. It cost a fortune to record them. They had one machine in London called an Ampex machine, which we all know now that Ampex make tape recorders and that, but this was only one of the, just the one they had in England. And all the mic lines went down telephone lines to London, so nobody stopped the show. And Johnny just stopped the show and he said, hold it. And he looked across at the orchestra and he said, Joe, there'll be no picking there. And I was fired. This is my first show and I was sacked on the spot.
Wow.
And I was really devastated, you know. So I'm sitting in the, after the show had finished, I'm sitting in the studio, the empty studio. I'm sitting on one of these rostrums and with my guitar and almost in tears, you know. And Johnny Cash walks in. He sees me sitting there and he comes up to me. He said, what's the matter, Joe? I said, what's the matter? What's the matter? I said, I've got the sack. Americans don't know what the sack. He said, you got the sack. What you going to put in the sack? I said, you don't understand, Johnny. I've been fired. Fired? Fired? What for? I said, I'll bloody tell you what for. I said, because you stopped the show and I got the sack. We'll just have to see about that. And he went and had a word with Jack and I got the job back. But that was my first ever professional gig with an American star.
Well, there we go, Joe Brown. The story of the Johnny Cash episode. So, what do you think about that?
That's quite interesting, actually. It's quite funny as well.
Yeah. We'll have no picking there, Joe.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I think we've covered everything now from the ABC studios and everywhere else.
I think we have.
The Eddie Cochran Gene Vincent tour of 1960. I think we've covered it all. If we haven't, I'm sure there'll be a part 6.
So if we have missed anything and you hear of anything, let us know. But I do hope you've enjoyed the trip back to 1960, because we have.